Predators serve the function of balance in the ecosystem. They serve to keep populations in check and keep their biological communities healthy. Animals like wolves, coyotes, mountain lions, bears,
Give me a brief overview of the mindsets people had when they were eradicating to now?
Originally, wolves were viewed as a threat to humans and as a threat to livestock. And wolves were viewed that way, but also other predators, bears, coyotes, mountain lions. These animals were seen as threats and were viewed as needing to be removed from the environment. So predator eradication programs were implemented across the globe, and that drastically reduced the population numbers for wolves and other predator species. Today, we've learned a lot more through research about the important role that these predators play in our environment in keeping prey populations in balance and providing other ecosystem function effects. So we have now begun to reverse those trends and to try to conserve predators and even restore predators to areas of their former range. And reintroducing wolves in parts of the lower 48 states has been part of that process.
About 5 minutes ago, I heard about a bear that canyon area came into a residential area and is now kind of just chillaxing in a guy's backyard, kind of bumbling around and walking around this area. Now, as you can hear, there are helicopters. I think there are about 4 or 5 right now. There's police. There are all sorts of officials and other news organizations that have come to kind of document this and contain the situation, quote unquote. Now, coexistence is a big part of living in an area that's close to a natural area, so an area where a lot of animals live. And we're right on the cusp of Eaton Canyon right now, so there are a lot of animals. There are bears that are native to Southern California in this area. Now, when animals like this come into our urban environments, a big deal is made, as we can see, by the helicopters, by the police. Now, we need to make sure these animals are taken care of and treated right and not euthanized as the protocol is right now. Meatball the bear is a fantastic example. He was relocated to a sanctuary and is now living out his life peacefully and happily. Right now, for animals that come into the cities, if they keep coming back, they're euthanized because they'll cause potential harm to property and people. The biggest problem right now that we're facing is, or let me actually start over on that, you can edit that part out, but right now we're facing a drought. That's the worst documented drought in 100 years in Southern California history. And it's no surprise that these animals are coming into our cities to try to find resources that they cannot find any longer within nature because of the fact that we are in a significant drought.
We have doomed the wolf not for what it is, but for what we deliberately and mistakenly perceive it to be, a mythologized epitome of a savage, ruthless killer, which is, in reality, no more than a reflected image of ourselves.
How did wolves get to the state they are in now, kind of endangered and far and few between?
Well, we really didn't have a good understanding of the role that wolves play in our environment. At one point, wolves were found all across the northern hemisphere. But today they're found in very isolated pockets in a few countries. Here in the US, they're only found in a few specific areas in about 5% of their former range. Humans decided to reduce wolf populations. At one time, they were viewed as a threat to humans and as a threat to agricultural operations, farming, livestock. There was a federally sponsored predator eradication program that targeted wolves as well as other predators such as mountain lions, bears, coyotes, and unfortunately, populations were drastically reduced.
It has been proven time and time again that the brutalization of a species will only lead to environmental destruction and further ecological instability that will echo on through generations. These animals are vital to our ecosystems, playing many important roles that benefit not only the ecosystem, but also us. Coexistence is possible, especially with organizations like Project Coyote and many others working towards coexistence through education, working to shift us away from a medieval, fear-based, intentional misunderstanding of this species in order to justify the killing thereof.
So the coyotes will start yipping and barking, and sometimes the wolves will start howling, although the wolves don't always howl when there are people around, so they may not howl.
And archaic attitudes that still persist towards animals like coyotes, foxes, raccoons, and skunks. A small minority will never look at these animals as anything other than living targets, but the vast majority of Californians respect them as vital parts of a healthy ecosystem. Yet our wildlife policies still don't reflect this. It's time to modernize predator policies in California because most of us don't want our wild animals treated like vermin and slaughtered for fun.
That it is possible to coexist with predators and livestock without resorting to lethal control methods.
We'll walk over there.